Welcome back to Brands Hatch. Next up is arguably the most crucial race to date. With only one weekend left, it's the Mark II Golf GTI Championships. The Mark II Golf GTI Championships never fails to entertain, and this weekend has been no different. After a very dramatic qualifying, we caught up with Harry Volkard, who managed to roll his car not once, but twice.
Well, I've never had a roll before, and I've always wondered when it was going to happen because it was inevitable. So yesterday I managed to do it twice at the end of qualifying, but it's quite, pretty dramatic. I think we were lying second at the time, and it was right at the end where I had a wishbone fail and just pulled me on the grass, and then I flicked it the other way, and the rest is history. But it was quite exciting actually. I quite enjoyed it. I'm just worried what's going to happen in this race really. I was quite lucky yesterday in the race, nothing happened, so I'm not obviously having the best of luck with sort of incidents and falls and stumbles and stuff at the moment, but I'm sure we'll get through the next race without any problems.
So how are you getting on this weekend?
We're doing okay. We've had a problem with the engine that we've probably lost about 20 horsepower due to a moving cam gear. That made qualifying interesting, and basically it hasn't given us the big advantage that we had. It's knocked us back a peg or two, and so I've really had to sort of get my head down, and hopefully we partially fixed it for race one, and we won it, and race two, if we fix it, honestly I hope to win again, unless of course Harry can dig deep and is going to come back at me with some proper WTCC answers today.
20 cars up here on the grid for race 2 of this weekend's Mark II Golf GTI Championships. Jamie Martin's up here on pole position with Harry Volkard just very close behind. With everything to play for, this is set to be a good race. Ben, over to you.
Thank you, Alexandra. The cars then all massed and ready on the grid. No formation that they go straight into the race with Jamie Martin, Harry Volkard sharing the front row. Martin Walsh and a sprightly James Court on row 2. And Adrian Ward and Alistair Steadwell lock out the third row of a very large field, which is about to move off as one here at Brands Hatch. The red lights are on, and out they go now. Who's got the jump from the lights? A very good getaway from the man we riding car with Dan Gibbs. It's Jamie Martin who leads away from Harry Volkard, and then the bright blue car of Martin Walsh. It's the silver car of James Court, who's next up as Dan Gibbs looks to the inside of Lee Bertram through Bannock Hill Bend. He gains that place. And what about James Colburn? He's going to try and squeeze past him as Volkard chases down Jamie Martin. As the pack all squeeze through. Drew the first time John Major was nipped into the lead of Class 1 as well. That's for the 8-valve class. Class 2 is for the 16 valves, and those are the cars that we see up at the head of the field. Yes, there's the blue, grey and white car of Major, still ahead of Harris, as now chasing down Jamie Martin's Harry Volkard. And if Volkard could win today, it'd be a very popular victory. He had a massive accident at the latter stage of the qualifying period, rolled the car. The team did an amazing job to repair it in time for the first race of the weekend. They've really been up against it, and so Volkard would be very keen to repay the team with a victory, but at the moment that's going to be pretty tricky because Jamie Martin is beginning to pull clear at the head of the field. It's Volkard in second. He's got Martin Walsh already up over his tail as Dan Gibbs climbs over to the tail of Josh Johnson in the number 12 car, as down through Dingledale comes this group of cars and climb up towards Sheen Curve. Johnson moving to the inside of James Colburn, and Dan Gibbs is going to try and follow him through. Going to be 3 wide almost as they head towards Stirling's, and Dan Gibbs fancies his chances here. He's going to try and go around the outside, which should be very brave indeed. If he's able to pull it off, I think he may have done so. There's Josh Johnson, who draws alongside Gibbs, but he's got the outside line for clearways, and if he attempts to go around there, that could well result in a trip to visit the marshals. So he thinks better of it, backs off ever so slightly, and Gibbs then gains that place. Jamie Martin still pulls away. There is Harry Volkard come to, then Martin Walsh. Then we've got James Court, and he is coming under a little bit of pressure from James Sedwell. Also Adrian Ward is right on his tail. It's Ward who's in the multicoloured car with the yellow roof, and it's Ward then who's taken the challenge to the silver machine of James Court. All the while though, Jamie Martin leads it. Volkard in second, Martin Walsh just slipping back in third into the clutches of James Court and Adrian Walsh. And then Alistair Sedwell completes that train of cars. Battling going on throughout the field. It's one of the beauties of these championships as Mark Hodder looking to make the move on Tim Cox, a little bit lower down the order, and Hodder squeezes through, gains the position, and that's fair driving from Tim. There he is in the bright white car, just didn't defend too vigorously. He may lose another place here as well as they head onto the Grand Prix loop. In the meantime, we've got these 5 cars fighting out for second position. So they all jink through Sheen. It's such a difficult corner, Sheen. Drivers approach almost completely blind, use every inch of road, then begin to set up the cambered left-hander at Sterling's, and that then really propels them out at quite some pace as they head down the steep drop into Clearways and Clark Curve as Dan Gibbs tries to look to the outside of James Colborne into Sheen. James, though, drives a wide car. Dan then thinks about the outside line to Sterling's again. James has got that more than covered, so Gibbs, for the time being, settles in his slipstream as over the line Adrian Ward, Alistair Sedwell, the pair of them still in pursuit of James Court, and Court flinging the car into Paddock Hill Bend as he tries to get onto terms with Martin Walsh and Harry Vocard. All the while, though, Jamie Martin leads the race and pulls away. Martin was looking for an emphatic performance at Brands Hatch this weekend to make up for the disappointment at Cadwell Park, where he had major gearbox and clutch issues in the first race. It meant that he couldn't even start the second race. He has responded by winning the first of the races of the weekend here at Brands Hatch and is well in command now in the second. We've got a nice battle here between James Colburn, Lee Bertram and Dan Gibbs. It's a group of them all sprint. Also Jake Johnson, the bright white number 11 car there at the back of that train. That's the Class 1 leader, John Major, and John is staying up with these 16 valve cars as we follow Jake Johnson and Dan Gibbs through Surtees. A Major here, a little bit of an upset in Class 1 as going door handle to door handle, wing mirror to wing mirror into Hawthorn's Adrian Ward making the move on James Court, and Adrian's been trying to set that overtake up for quite some laps. He then sticks the car just towards the middle of the road as they head towards Westford. He's going to make it difficult here for James, so he can't find a way around him as climbing through Dingle Dell. Still Martin Walsh attempting to gauge Harry Vocard in battles. Here's another look at this move from Adrian Ward, and that's absolutely lovely. They gave each other plenty of room, and James Court realised just as they turned into Hawthorn there's nothing he could do to keep Ward behind him and let Adrian Ward move up into 4th. Jamie Martin still leads. Next World Touring Car Championship man Harry Vocard has still got Walsh in his tail. Then we've got this 3-way scrap for 4th, headed by Adrian Ward from James Court and Alistair Sedwell. They pick their way then through Surtees, and we've got a problem there for Ward. Adrian Ward slows. Oh, that's such a shame. He was driving so well, and so Adrian Ward, I fear, is going to be a retirement. Yes, he doesn't come into view, so that means it's James Court who is back up into 4th position. At the moment he's holding Court there because there's nothing that Alistair Sedwell can do about picking his way past him through Hawthorns. Wherever you look, there are battles going on. This is the James Colborne headed tussle for 6th with Lee Bertram and Dan Gibbs in his tail, but it's Bertram who's looking the most feisty there. He is in the bright green car. They sprint along the Cooper Straight and then begin to move down through the gears into Surtees. It's a long looping left-hander onto 3 wheels for Lee Bertram, and actually really helps him through the corner as Alex Harris and Lee Ketteridge engage in battle. This is for 2nd in Class 1. John Major still leads the way. Bomber, who's the class leader and challenging the overall title, who's got a new set of wheels after his misfortune in the Super O VAG trophy race we saw a little bit earlier on, and he has got Lee Ketteridge up onto his tail. Great shot there into the cockpit of Ketteridge as he works the wheels, slides the car through Surtees. Still squabbling over 6th, James Colburn with Lee Bertram right up onto his tail. Lee trying every which way to squeeze past him, but all the while it has been about Jamie Martin today. He has done the business, pole position, and powers through to take an emphatic victory. Another win in what's proven to be a hugely successful 2012 season. Harry Vocard then holds on to 2nd with Martin Walsh completing the podium. But what about 6th? It's going to be a drag race to the line, and it's a drag race that's just won by James Colburn from Lee Bertram as John Major accelerates along the Bradman Straight to claim Class 1 honours. I think he enjoyed that, punching the air with delight as he takes the flag. So let's take a look then at the final results, with the victory for Jamie Martin from Vocard and Walsh. James Court at 4th, Alistair Sedwell in 5th, then James Colburn, Lee Bertram, Dan Gibbs, Adam Hance. A super battle. John Major 11th, and Class 1 victory with Alex Harris just holding off Lee Ketteridge. Well, the hard work of the weekend is done, which means it's time for the drivers to celebrate on the podium. And Jamie Martin once more onto the top step of the rostrum as the photographers log on. It's time for the champagne to fly on the podium here at Brands Hatch.
Double victory and 8th win of the season. Well done, Jamie.
Thanks, Al. I'm very pleased with that. What can I say? You know, the car needed some work. The second race this weekend was much quicker. It's really good fun having people like Harry with their history to come and race against us, because it gives a good benchmark. And I would just say to anyone who's out there thinking about motor racing, you know, you only get one life. Come and do it.
First win this season, John. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We spent a lot of time and effort into the car this season, and definitely put a lot more in. Come here with one intention, and I wanted both wins for the 2 days, but unfortunately Bomber did get me yesterday. But today I'm definitely well pleased with the way it went. I got a good gap between everyone, and managed to keep on the back of the 16 valves, which is quite a good achievement in itself.
So we move towards the business end of the season. The championship standings are getting very tight. Alex Harris comfortably leads Class 2 though, and Jamie Martin likewise in Class 1. When you look at it together, Martin has got a very slender 3-point advantage over Alex with just 2 races remaining.
Well, that's it for us here at Brands Hatch, and what a weekend it's been for both the Super Pro VAG Trophy and the Mark II Golf GTI Championships. With just one weekend left for both, things are really starting to hot up. We'll be back again soon, so join us then for some more exciting racing.